Let's look at what you're leaving behind, 'cause there's no coming back once we go. We are the children of an innocent. When I see you again.
So there's nothing that people love more than Boston cream donuts. But for those of you that don't want to have diabetes, there's card control. So here's my favorite card control that doesn't use sleight of hand. It doesn't use a lot of sleight of hand that you could use to impress your friends and family at the next Ramadan. Ramadan. So here's the control here. We have a card picked and selected by a spectator. In this case is the 10 of spades. That card is cut into the middle of the deck very fairly. There's no sleight of hand here apart from your ability to produce nails anytime you want. And that card is under complete control, even though the card's completely lost. Somewhere apparently cut in the middle. Sorry about that. Cut in the middle of the deck. That card is under your complete control. So at any point in time, you could just do whatever cuts you want. And guess what? That card is on top of the deck. Sorry, you have to snap, and then the card jumps to the top of the deck, and then you could put it back in the middle, and guess what? It jumps right to the obnoxious. Obnoxious. So that was the control. And if you are a clever cunt, you would realize that the control is more subtlety than actual sleight of hand. It's called the Oops control by U.F. Grant, according to Genie magazine. U.F. Grant is a proprietor and creator of many magic effects in the world of magic, so he's the one to credit for this phenomenal, fantastic control here. I haven't used that meme in a while, so here's the setup for the control. You get a card and you put it face up, second from the bottom. That's it. Or if you want to control it to the top, you put the card face up on the bottom of the deck. That's the setup. That's all it is. Now, if you want to be even more clever, what you do is that you conspire to make that card the Joker. Because it's more likely that the Joker will be face up in the deck than a random card, right? Look at the hot pick cake subtleties here, man. Boy, if you're not liking, subscribing, commenting, checking out pickcake.me and or my Patreon, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Oh, fuck. All right, so that's the setup there. If you want to control the card to the top of the deck. If you want to control the card second from the top of the deck, you put a card on the bottom that's face down, and the Joker goes face up second from the bottom of the deck. So we'll do it to the top of the deck here. You have a card picked. In this case, it's going to be the 5 of hearts. And here's really the main move here. You're going to swing cut the top portion to the left hand here as you take the 5 of hearts. And then when you remember that you have a gross, disgusting rivalry with the 5 of hearts, you remove it, and you imagine that the spectator chose the 7 of spades. So then this card is, of course, on the top of this packet. This, if you're a clever cat, you would realize contains the bottom card here, which is face up. So you very cleanly put this on top, and guess what? You're set. That card is under your control. If you want, you could even cut the deck as many times as you want. And if you come to a scenario where you cut this card to the top of the deck, guess what? Because when you turn his Joker and say, oh, whoops, and put it face down in the deck, you successfully controlled their card to the top of the deck because it's the next one. You see the hotness here? So it doesn't matter. So you can cut the deck as many times as you want, assuming you don't cut directly to the Joker. The Joker's still going to be right next to the card. So you're going to be ready to control the card anytime you want. Oh boy, this is a very versatile control here. But ultimately, what you want to do is you want to take the deck and spread it and notice the Joker. Now again, you don't want to make this a move, but you just want to say, oh, whoops. See, the name of the move is with the oops control, but you want to say oops or whoops or something to declare the fact that this is just a mistake, or even just not call it. Just don't say anything. Just notice the Joker, turn it face down, and continue your dialogue. But guess what? In turning it face down, we have successfully gotten a pinky break above the card that the spectator has selected. So because of that, we can now double undercut that card to the top, and that card is under your control. But that requires sleight of hand. So what sort of technique could we use here that doesn't require any sort of sleight of hand? I hear you saying, in sitting on your couch, drenched in Mountain Dew and Doritos. Here's that method. If you don't want to use any sleight of hand, you get the card, you do the same actions. Remember, the Joker's going on top. You put it there. You're very clean. You have some sort of dialogue with the spectator, because that's what Magic is really about. So once you spread to the Joker, when you turn it face down, see what's happening? I turn my right hand palm down. I use my thumb here, my sneaky little thumb, to grab that card. As I turn it face down and cut the cards, you see what I'm doing? I'm bringing the left-hand card to the top. I'm bringing the left-handed cards to the top of the deck, which effectively controls the card that they picked to the top of the deck with zero sleight of hand. For those of you that enjoy a rudimentary diet of Doritos, Pop-Tarts, and no pussy. So that's the no sleight of hand way to control the card to the top. Again, if you happen to get lucky and you happen to cut directly to the card in your exposition, so you have the card, let's say it's a 10 of hearts, you go through the motions, you say, oh, I'm going to just cut the cards. If you happen to get lucky and cut right to the Joker, then guess what? You're good to go. You just turn that Joker face down, put it in the middle, and now you successfully controlled their card to the top. Again, that's a scenario that doesn't happen often, but when it does, because of the bevel of the cards, guess what? You're going to be good to go. See, in that case, I cut right to it. So that is the basic applications of the oops control. There is some other applications for this oops control that are for more advanced tricks. So for example, let's say you need a trick where you need to get a break underneath 15 cards from the top of the deck, but you don't want to use sleight of hand. So here's what you do. You grab your trusty Joker or whatever X card, and you put it 16th from the top of the deck. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 right there. So you see what happens when you put the Joker, there, you see now you're in a position where you don't have to hold a break here. You just put that inside of your box. You spread the deck. You show off oh, whoops, there's a Joker there. Once you square up the deck, you have your 16, 15, however many cards you need right there with your little pinky break separating it. So that's an easy way to get a break under a needed number of cards using this oops control technique. So that's a hot version of it. Hey there, yeah. So it turns out that not only am I a dumb cunt, I'm a really dumb cunt. Because instead of properly introducing the next section as controlling the card to a known number, meaning that you get a card selected and you have the ability to control it to a known number, I keep referring to it as a top card. So I cut that part out entirely, and instead I'm going to jump directly to when I'm explaining how to control a selected card to a needed number. So let's say you need to control that specific card that the spectator picked to the 15th position. Here's a method on how to do that. And I'm sorry for the convoluted explanation that I had to give in order to kind of go over my stupidity. So I hope you enjoy, and thank you guys for watching my videos. So here's what you do to get it to a known number. You see, you get the Joker, you have the known number of cards here on the bottom of the deck. In this case, it's 15. You put the Joker on top, you put the deck on top, you put that on top of the table. And if here's what you do. You have a card selected. It's going to be the 7 of diamonds. We're going to leave it face up for posterity's sake here. But that card gets cut into the middle of the deck, much the same. And this time you say, oh, I cut the card in the middle. Some were lost over here. You notice a Joker. And this time, in doing the same move that we discussed earlier, their card is now placed in the exact position where you need it, depending on whatever trick you're doing. So in this case, it should be 16th from the top of the deck because I placed 15 cards here. So really, you could use that oops control for a lot of different things, including putting the card in a known place on top of the deck or in a certain position or even to the bottom of the deck. It's a very versatile control here that is no doubt going to become your favorite after it's become my favorite. So you, use that control. You come up with your own ideas, and you leave in the comments below your favorite type of sandwich, and I'm sure I'll respond back. Yeah. So I'm gonna go figure out different ways to watch a lighter encompass a piece of gum in increasingly sexual ways. So did you like that? I'm sure you did. If you did, you should click on that little thing that lets you subscribe if you haven't done so already. And make sure to check out the description below where I have some other hot links that you should check out if you want to make your pee-pee bigger.
Gonna shake it.